Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to this First Communion of 2021. Now, when we do communion, we can often do it in a ritualistic way, not really understanding what it is that we're doing or the significance of it. So what I'm going to do for you is take you through some teaching that I did back in Life Rock in March last year, just before the lockdown started, on what the meaning of the communion is. Now, we know that the communion was associated with the Jewish Passover meal, but we're not sure whether it was actually a Passover or simply done at a similar time like the day before or something. It's not totally clear in the Gospels what was happening there. It was associated with it at the very least. And how the Jews used to do their Passover, they had a set pattern for it. And the person officiating would go through like a set routine, and he would read from a passage out of Exodus, which talks about when Israel was promised that they would be coming out of Egypt. And the verses come from Exodus 6, verses 6 to 7. Say therefore to the people of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. Now, as they read that first part, they would drink the first of the cups. They had 4 cups in this Passover meal, and that first one would be drunk at that point. I'm going to bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. On the slide, you can see in the New Testament the verse that we think is associated with that, as far as we can work out. It goes on then. I'll bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I'll deliver you from slavery to them. And that's when they would drink the second one. As they were doing that, they would have some, like a bowl of bitter herbs that they would dip stuff into it and eat. And the bitter herbs reminds them of the bitterness of the slavery that they had whilst they were there in Egypt. And I will redeem you. And when he says I'll redeem you, that's when they drink the third of the cups. And we get that in the New Testament in Luke, and he says, Jesus is saying this thing, the cup after they'd eaten, saying, this cup that's poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood. And that reminds them of the new covenant that was promised in Ezekiel and Jeremiah, where they talked about being given a new heart, a new desire to do God's will. So when he's talking about redeem you, there's that in mind there. But there's also the thought that these Jews, they'd come out from under slavery in Egypt. And to be redeemed from that, it meant 4 things particularly. If you think what it was like to be a slave, firstly, that they had political oppression. They could not do what they wanted as a nation. They had to do what the Egyptians said. They had economic oppression. They were not given the due rewards for their labour. The Egyptians took that, gave them like just the food. They had social oppression. When giving birth, the Israelite women, they had to kill off the boy babies. Only the girls could live. They were under social oppression there. They had religious oppression. It says, let my people go so that they can worship me. The Israelites could not worship God whilst they were under that regime. So 4 different sorts of oppression there, and being redeemed means being set free from all of those things. That's when they would drink this third cup. And then it goes on, I'll take you to be my people. And that's when they drink the 4th cup. Now it's very interesting. In Matthew it says, this is Jesus, I will not drink again of the fruit of this vine until the day that I'm going to drink it with you in my Father's kingdom. And we believe that's the point at which the 4th cup would have been drunk in the normal Passover meal. But Jesus says, I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to drink this drink again until I drink it with you. And the reason is that that piece hasn't yet been fulfilled. Redemption redemption from a far worse power than the Egyptians were under has been accomplished by Jesus. But the taking of his people to be with him, that's not yet been done. So he says, I'm not going to drink this one until it's actually fulfilled, until you're with me. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an understanding about what the communion's about. And will you now take it with me? If you have some bread, eat it, remembering the redemption that is won for you. And also the cup. Which of those cups do you want to remember? The one where it talks about redemption? Maybe you need to be redeemed from some of these oppressions, or different oppressions, things that are stopping you worshipping God. Or do you want to focus on the fourth cup, that Jesus didn't drink until he's going to drink it with you? There's going to come a time when he will drink that fourth cup with us in his kingdom.